Libra, my name is Audrey Alison. Thanks for joining me for your March 2017 forecast for the month. I'm happy to be here. It's snowing out. I don't know if you can see it, but I wasn't even going to record today and I just had to take advantage of the backdrop, but it is awfully bright. It just looks like a bunch of white out there, but it's snowing. Okay, so I'm using the Morgan Greer tarot deck. I'll be shuffling throughout the astrological forecast. And let's get started. There's a lot happening in your marriage sector and your committed relationship sector. And I think that a lot of Libras are getting married, getting engaged, making things official. And here's why. Okay, so on the 2nd of March, there is, thanks to Jupiter retrograding through June 9th, there is an exact opposition again that is held between Jupiter in your first house and Uranus in the sign of Aries. They are directly across from each other in the sky, in opposition, 180 degrees away from each other, and they're both at the 22-degree mark of Libra and Aries. And this is a push and pull in the marriage sector and the first house of self. Some of you Librans, now with an opposition can be a little bit of pressure. Maybe you're feeling a little pressured to commit. Maybe not. Maybe this is just about elevation and Jupiter. But the last time we saw this aspect was when we had the Women's March and we saw the massive, which is Jupiter, abundant amount of people, Jupiter, and the unexpected head count on that turnout, and Uranus being independence and rebellion and revelation and revolution. This is massive energy, and it's on a global level. We will see something happen again on the 2nd, and power to the people. Also, personally for Libra, this could affect you in your relationship. This could see you maybe ice it up. This could see you maybe want to expand the partnership you're in, maybe become maybe more personable, but there's an unexpected element to this. This is why I think engagement might be on the brinks, because of Uranus and it being a surprise and this shock factor. And for those of you who aren't in relationship, I would get out on the 2nd. Libra has the scales, and the signs that have a dual representation, they like to partner up. And Libras generally aren't single for more than a few minutes. So I can see that you want relationship, and maybe it's that you want the relationship you're in to work very badly around the 2nd. Maybe some of you, it's not the right relationship and there's an unexpected kind of feeling about that. But with Jupiter in your first house, this is a really happy time for Libra. I'm really not getting a negative vibe. I think that you want to expand. You want to, upgrading is the word that I'm hearing. With Jupiter, that could apply in the 7th house. Some of you want to upgrade the relationship. Maybe some of you want to partner up. I would get out on or around the 2nd of March, because it has a sudden kind of surprise value to it, shock value. Uranus ruling electricity as well. You could suddenly meet someone that's soulmate material, not just dating. Now on the 4th, Venus, the planet of attraction, retrogrades at 13 degrees of Aries. So this is also in that 7th house. You have Venus conjunct Uranus here. Romance in the 7th. Venus will retrograde through April 15th, going direct at 26 degrees of Pisces, traveling back through the romance sector from April 28th through June 6th. Okay, so Libra, you are reviewing your romance, and I think a lot of you are discerning, is this the marriage? Is this the commitment forever? Because the 7th house is ignited here, it's not the 5th house. You're not just dating. Unless you are just dating, this really doesn't apply to getting married right now. However, you could take your relationship more seriously. You could then get, the monogamy thing going, or maybe moving in, something like that. But for those of you already linked up, this really applies to wedding bells, review. Venus wants you to assess this relationship in the 7th house through April 15th. Perhaps when she goes direct is when you'll put it in paper or make it official, make it legal. It just depends on how each of you are in your relationships, but there is a review in the soulmate sector. Now, for some Libras, having Venus retrograde, for those of you who've been married before, you could have a return of the spouse or the ex manifest through this time, a review of how your partnerships used to be. Maybe Libra is comparing current relationship to past relationship and then weighing it out like you do on the scales to see, does this meet all of the criteria? So on the 9th of March, Mars enters Taurus, the planet of action, energy, and stamina, and sex enters the 8th house of sex. So Libra, giddy up, because Mars enters this sector for 60 days. There's also a desire to be intimate or have an intimate connection with Mars in the 8th house. It's a very sexually active placement, but it's also the stamina and determination to connect. This could also apply to shared resources that are also in the 8th house. What do you share with your partner? Maybe Libra is accruing a very a sound financial position with Mars in the 8th with the partner. And it could have everything to do with linking up with the 7th house and 8th house of moving in, getting engaged, taking it to the next level. For those of you not in partnerships, this is a lot of other people's money. Mars in the 8th is who's investing in you. Who are your investors? And what about settlement energy? Are there some of you waiting for legal settlements? Mars is a catalyst energy here. So if there's a hold on inheritance, wills, estates, you will see a push forward here. This is action and Mars is full speed ahead. On the 12th, we have a full moon at 22 degrees of Virgo, and this brings a closure and an ending in the 12th house where I like it. I never mind a full moon in the 12th house. I say that to whomever, whichever sign it applies to, but today, this month, it's Libra. So there are only 12 houses in the chart and in the sky. So having a full moon in the last possible sector, while Jupiter's with you, there is an ending of a full 12-year cycle with this full moon. You're starting a 9-year cycle and a 12-year cycle consecutively here. So, and that has everything to do with Jupiter in your first house and us being as a collective in the number 1 year, in a number 1 month, because Mars governs Aries, which is what this energy is. But March 20th is the first day of an astrological calendar. Everything starts in spring. Everything starts in Aries. So this full moon on the 12th is just bringing in these endings, releasing the past, getting over old wounds, releasing addictions, bad habits. The subconscious mind is being downloaded now through dreams and rest. So the more Libra can rest their mind, the better through this time. And rest the physical self as well. On the 13th, Mercury enters Aries. So Mercury conjunct Venus, conjunct Uranus, and Mars having just left this sector. This is about communication with the partner, with a spouse, with a relationship, with your business associates. Details, analysis of the 7th house. Libra is assessing the relationship they're in. Because with Venus retrograde here, and Mercury direct here, you're assessing your love, you're assessing your feelings, not really the communication style. I think your heart's doing the assessing, not this. Interesting. Right, because Mercury ruling thought, mind, air, the swords, all the perceptions of the mind, but Venus governing heart, feeling, sensuality. That's what's reviewing this. How does your body feel with your partner? How do you physically respond to the relationship you're in? It's not about the Mercury review of the relationship. You're not going to use your mind for this one. I think this review is about how your body responds to this relationship. Now, on the 20th, we have our vernal equinox. It's our cardinal ingress. It's the first day of spring in the northern hemisphere. It's the autumnal equinox in the southern hemisphere. But again, the sun is entering Aries. The sun, Mercury, Venus, Uranus, and our new moon on the 27th is at 7 degrees of Aries in your 7th house of marriage. What Libra isn't connecting right now? And if you're not, you need to get out and be seen in more than a few areas, more than one area at the end of March, because I don't want anyone missing this energy of the 20th. It's a cardinal energy. It's a time for action, to be direct, to take risks, to push play in all of the areas of your life. It's a go, go, go type of vibe. So you don't want to miss the boat. On the 27th, this new moon is here in relationships. So for those of you who really want to connect, you have to envision it. What you envision can manifest. That's as easy as magic is. You don't need a Houdini kit to get your magic on. Just think about where you need to be, and you have a really strong chance of ending up there. Look at me. I don't even know how the hell I ended up here half the time. I was just envisioning it a lot. So here we go. It's all about vision. I want to pull the cards too and see what comes up for Libra. And if you have questions about this reading, you can put them down below. If I have time to get back to them, I will. My schedule's kind of hectic. But if you'd like to book with me for a very personal reading that has only to do with you, you want to go to audreyalison.com and select your desired reading length via the PayPal button, and I'll get back to you in a day or two with an email, and we can set it up. All right, Libra, the first card, the star card. Let me move this over here. Recognition, spiritual achievement, the 12th house, quiet, the 12th house where the full moon is. This is also the card of Aquarius in the Tarot. The star governs that. Most major arcana cards are assigned a zodiac sign or a planet, and the star governs Aquarian energy. Let's see what else comes up. High Priestess. This is me. I shuffled this deck a ton, and this card has come up in about 4 readings so far. I love this card. I actually just took a few photos of it. But High Priestess, this is a sign of Gemini, but it's a sign of quiet, rest, spirituality. Don't tell everybody what you're doing. This is 12th house. Both of these cards are the rest house, intuition house, spirituality. Both of these cards have that. That's interesting. Let's see. Oh, Page of Cups. Some Libras have the birth of a child or news coming in about a child, maybe a Pisces, because of the fish and the water sign of cups. It doesn't have to be. This is the card of a child, though. The child is in the mix, perhaps, or it's a message coming through. We'll see how else this applies. Knight of Cups. So more water, more intuition. The Knight could be the Pisces, Scorpio, or Cancer male, bringing you an invitation or an offer. Someone has given you an offer or an invitation. See how they both are holding the cups? Some Libras, not all, some Libras have the opportunity to meet someone emotionally, because cups are emotions. He's handing that cup over, like, let's connect, or let's share something intimate. And of course, Libra, everyone has free will. You don't have to take these messages. You don't have to answer the phone. You don't have to go out and meet this person. You don't have to wonder what the message is being delivered. But I think if you do, you'd be very pleasantly surprised. We have one more card. This is the card of yes, and I'm getting emotional again. Can I get through a reading without having this wave of emotion? No. Ace of Swords just answered my question, or just answered my statement in saying, now what did I just say? Oh, you'll be pleasantly surprised. Yes, you will. You will be surprised. If there are Libras who are deciding quietly which way to go, which direction to take, what decision to make, the swords rule what you're thinking about, you're going to make a strong decision here, and it has to do with relationship, I would think, because your 7th house and 8th house are lit up all through the month, and the only other house is the intuitive self that's processing this. This High Priestess, she wants to stick to my body because this card and we get along. I want to say this too. Some of you might feel the need to be alone because this is a very private card. The High Priestess rides alone. She doesn't want to all the time, but life kind of throws that her way. And I said this in another reading, and I'll say it again because I'm being probed to, and since this card came up, I'm feeling it. In regards to being on your own, or, Libra is not really great outside of relationship. It's not really a sign that likes to function on their own, his or her own. My mom's probably watching this like, yeah, okay, tell me something I don't know. But sometimes it is essential to be alone, to know what it is you truly need. If you don't have time on your own to assess your life, how do you know what relationship you really should be in? So maybe some Libras need to take a minute of quiet because these are such peaceful, alone cards. And the feeling that I'm getting right now might be some Libras feel like this. But you have to stay focused on what you know is true to you and what your life purpose is. I'm to be of service for others. Maybe some of you have this. Either way, this is going to apply to everyone differently. Stay true to you, and the right thing will happen. There are no mistakes. I'm wishing you a beautiful March, and I love you. Remember, the sky is limitless, so reach for the stars.